We could start with the Pledge of Allegiance followed by a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Start with a roll call, please.
Terry Reed.
Here.
Jeff Miller.
Here.
Bill Niemeyer.
Here.
Ryan Hartley.
Here.
And Ethan Maple.
Here. Moving on to claims 2.1. Approval of APVs 28651, 28718. Do I hear a motion?
I'll make a motion that we approve APVs number 28651 and to 28718 as presented in our backup material.
I'll second that motion.
Ethan makes a motion. Bill seconds. Is there any discussion? I did have one question. The insurance payment, is that for the light, the person who ran into the light?
Where are you?
It's page 6.
I don't have it in that. Who are we paying? The insurance company? I
Yeah, it's the
mean,
bottom of their NDOT2 insurance claim and one additional light.
that is to replace the two that were hit and one, so we don't have to wait for another year or two to get a
The
replacement.
extra one, right?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Answered my question. Thank you. Anybody else? All in favor, say aye.
All right.
Opposed? All right, that passes. Hear a motion for approval of SRF claims 28662, 28700.
I'll make a motion, we approve SRF claims 28662 through 28700.
I'll second.
Motion made by Ryan, seconded by Terry. Any discussion? Those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed? All right, and moving on to the adoption of minutes. Adoption of town council minutes from January 7th, 2026.
I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes as presented in the backup materials for the meeting of January 7th, 2026.
I'll second that.
Motion made by Bill, seconded by Ethan. Any discussion, adjustments? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And that passes. All right, now on to public comments. We have a 3-minute time limit for anything that is on the agenda only. If you are interested, please step up to the podium, give your name and address, and let us know what you're interested in. It's recording. It doesn't work. Yep.
Hello, my name is Michael DeBarlo. I'm located at 28 East Main Street. Last name is my wife is Sandra DeBarlo. That's my brother, Marky. I just want to tell you one thank you for letting us be part of this community. It's the boys of love. And just want to say that we just appreciate this town. And anybody who comes out to see us, just support us, say hi, whether it's behind us, say hi, on our kids, just out and about. So we really appreciate it. Love to have you all come out too if you have. Some of you have, so, but I'm not good.
Well,
Hey, shameless plug. All right, you already got
That's
that.
okay.
now wait a minute, for the record, I will say, because I probably have the farthest distance. from-
Oh, yeah. I see you in there a lot.
Because when I, walk out the side door and I smell it, I am compelled to walk across
Yeah,
the
so,
street.
yeah,
So
much
I
appreciated.
recommend Smoking Barrel Park, no question.
Thank you.
It's excellent.
Well, I appreciate you employing some of the fine young people in our
Oh, yeah,
community.
yeah. Well, you're most welcome. I know you talk.
Everyone but my son, but the other ones are fine young people.
We're glad to have you here,
We are.
for sure.
Thank you. Yes. All right. No old business, and we'll move on to new business. We've got some people from Ratio and Envoy to do a presentation.
Good evening. So for the record, Dale Davis, I'm the Director of Planning for Envoy. We have been hired by the town as your owner's representative to guide you through a master planning process here with, focusing on this new development. So there's a lot of interest in this property, and the town has expressed its interest in being in the driver's seat for whatever new development happens here. We want to be the ones to lead this and not just be reactive. So first step in this is engaging some design professionals and really helping us go down the road. In any mixed-use development, there'd likely be participation by the town in terms of, TIF economics. There would be some financial incentive to happen, especially considering it being the first project. So what way can we show good faith to the community around us than by starting the master plan? We're the ones to do it. We're going to lead this forward. So with that, we've been talking to Ratio, who's excellent at providing master plans and developments and all the way through very large development projects to lead us through this. So Chris Boardman's here to talk about that proposal and talk to you about the process. Chris?
Good evening, everybody. Do you all have, looks like you may have copies, so I'll just, if anyone not have a copy, great. I thought maybe what would be most useful to do is maybe just sort of talk through what's contained and what the process might feel like, what's included, so you have an opportunity to ask questions about sort of the process and what sort of the outcomes are, if you will. So as Chris Boardman, architect with Ratio, we're located in downtown, down the road. As Dale indicated, the sort of the parcel is about a 77 acre parcel. It's sort of bifurcated, if you will, by 52. It's near the corner of 52 and kind of 550. Our services are sort of broken into two pieces. The first is looking at the overall 77 acres to determine what are the appropriate uses that make sense, whether it's housing, commercial, town services, a variety of things, and also test that against the market to make sure that it's things that make sense, economically viable. If we plan for something that doesn't make any sense, the plan isn't ultimately going to be useful for you. In addition to that, this plan would include then creating somewhat of a town center, as we're calling it, which would be potentially a park, a splash pad, amphitheater, and a town hall. And we'll sort of dive in exactly if those are the right components or not, but that's kind of the point of the beginning. And our goal would be to find the right place for that in the 77 acres that makes sense for the town, makes sense for, as well as giving you the visibility, but also not taking away good commercial opportunities that developer might have access to. So it's really our job to sort of look at both lenses to find the right balance of this process. I'm going to just jump. I'm going to read a couple things here. So the master plan services is that 77 acres. So we'll look at it from a very technical level in terms of, I know there's a regulated drain that comes through the property that we'll understand what the sort of impacts of that are. We'll look at zoning and jurisdictional requirements. We'll look at, there's a rail line to the north there. There's also a cemetery potentially on the site. So we're going to look at all those kind of sort of encumbrances to understand what limitations or opportunities those provide. Very importantly, we'll do a traffic study to understand what density of development and uses would drive traffic across 52 and 50 in particular, whether new traffic signals or turning lanes or those kind of things would be necessary based on those findings, essentially. And then we include those in the plan. A site analysis really is just a general understanding of how it connects to the things that are around it. There's neighborhoods to the east, schools over to the west, I think. But just understand what road networks might want to actually leave from that in the future. There's parcels to the south and in the future we'll likely see development farm field. So we're just trying to look at what the current conditions are, but try to imagine what the future to, so whatever you plant here allows for other things to happen in the future. And then we'll also look at sort of the impacts on utilities, so that's stormwater, sewer, water, and electric, and gas, and all the things it would take, whether they're sized properly or whether there's other things that need to happen in order to sort of serve it, or vice versa, plan it so that, some things don't need to be expected if they're not at adequate capacity. So that's all part of that initial analysis. Then there will be a design phase, and this is really where we start to really draw plans, if you will, where we can come to you or your stakeholder group that will identify to review different options, essentially. And we'll go through a series of, let's say, 2 or 3 of those options and sort of narrow in on one solution that encapsulates what you believe is the right answer, knowing that then we'll ultimately development will come in and say, we really like this. Here's what that housing area would look like from our perspective. And really, what it's doing is giving them some guardrails and some vision so that they just can't come in and do whatever they want. It's just sort of fit within the model, achieve the vision, and the passion. It gives you a way to have a conversation with it. So the deliverable, that is that plan, that singular plan that you can have, bring it on board, whatever that you can share with the stakeholders. After that, we'll dig into what we're calling concept design. That is very focused on the components I mentioned earlier that could be about the town. So park, amphitheater, splash pad, town hall, or something else that emerges through our initial conversations. It starts to sort of get in a little bit more detail. It gives you a sense of, the size, the scope, and ultimately the cost, so that you are in a position to move forward with that in the future if that becomes a project for the town. And we're really looking again to see that as it's not only a benefit to you all and something that satisfies the needs of the town, but it's also going to be a piece that attracts development because it creates a center that drives up value, attracts investment. So that, I think, is sort of the thrust of this. We will have other partners on our team just to speak to that, to bring some of the engineering expertise that I mentioned before. Editor Group and MS Engineering will provide additional services. The total duration of the project, to speak to that, in the range of 6 to 8 weeks. This isn't a really extended, long process. We'll want to be on a regular basis with you to sort of work through the process. And then you can see we've broken the fee into the 2 phases. So, at anywhere across those 2 things, we can, pause, reconsider, and those kind of things. So 6 to 8 weeks. So that is it at high level nutshell. So I'm happy to ask or answer any detailed questions.
Do you guys have a breakdown of these numbers? So master plan has a number and then the concept design services has a number. Do you have a breakdown of those more detailed?
Yeah, I can provide detail relative to the engineering side of it, the survey side of it. Yeah, we can provide more detail.
Awesome. Yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
great. No, it makes sense. Understand. This is something we've been talking about for a while. Anybody else have questions?
Out of curiosity, I think I can probably answer this, but one of the questions I've had from our community is, so you're paying for someone to come up with a plan? That's something that not everybody understands. Can you speak to the purpose of contracting with someone like you for something like this? Because my answer is you don't want us coming up with a plan. But how would
Sure.
you answer that from our community's perspective?
Yeah, no, that's a good question. I'll restate maybe some things I've already said, just I don't want to be redundant, but I mean, I think developers are important people in the community because they're the ones that are coming with the money, they're coming with the opportunity to create things that this community needs. That's how every community sort of works. And what's important is for you all to have a say in that rather than let development happen to you. You want to create a plan so that you're prescribing more what you get at the end. And it's really what a lot of communities around this region have done. Ones that people are familiar with, Fishers is an example. Whether you want to be Fishers or not is a different question, but I mean, they obviously have gone through a lot of development. Some of it, from an outside perspective, has been very well planned and successful, and you've kind of seen it roll out over gosh, what has it been, 20 years now maybe, from where their sort of downtown, if you will, has developed and obviously accelerated a lot in recent years. So if there wasn't more of a plan there, it would have been much more haphazard and less sort of coordinated. Sort of like we just call it your vision, like what's the identity of New Powell? What do you want to put out there in the world? You've got to put that in writing so that when someone comes to you with an idea, you've got some teeth behind it to say, no, we've actually already put a plan together. This is what we're expecting, and it gives you some leverage in the process.
Thank you.
Any questions? No? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. The only other thing for new business, this is a late ad. I'm making an appointment to the RDC. One of the members has stepped down, so Rachel Strong stepped down. We want to thank her for her commitment to that and appreciate all that she's done and her choice to step away and focus on a hectic life. We all know happens to all of us. So I'm appointing Matt Lawson, and I will get you his contact information so we can get him set up. Moving to continued council conversations. So we talked about staggered terms. Anything else? You got some?
I do, yeah, and I
Oh
can
boy,
kind of-
here we go.
I can kind of blend this into my legal update, but I've got the framework of a draft of an ordinance ready to go for hopefully next council meeting, where we will stagger the terms. The Indiana Code does prescribe a town to do it in the year preceding municipal elections, so 2026 ahead of 2027. So we've got that locked and loaded and ready to go. I'll probably reach out to you either later this week or next week with particulars on how you want to stagger those. I know you mentioned like leading vote getters 4 terms and then thereafter 3-year terms or something to that effect. So we will get that hopefully on the agenda for next meeting.
Yeah, does anybody have a thought on how we should do that? I think we bounced around different ideas on how to split that up, but basically you're gonna end up with a 2-3 combo. So
So when I turned in my CFA form yesterday at the election office, I did ask them if there had been any new legislative changes that we needed to be aware of moving forward to do this, because this is one of the things that we had talked about when we first came on council. There's nothing new to share from the election office, but I would highly encourage Zach, you to run all this through the election office, because from what I'm understanding is you kind of get one shot at this. And we want to make sure that when we do this, again, it's one of those things we're trying to set up these check boxes and go through the proper procedures on how we do all this stuff. And no better way to do that than running it through legal and the election office.
Absolutely.
So I would highly encourage you to reach out to them just to make sure that we're doing what we're supposed to be doing to do this. I'm looking forward to it. I really don't have any suggestions on how we set it up. I think the way that you had mentioned, as far as vote getters, unless the election office has another way that they suggest doing it, I think that's a good option.
the only other option I came up with was flipping coins.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Rock, paper, scissors is good, but
I think going with the 4-year we only do it once, right? So
Yeah.
the first time we have it is where it splits. And I'd
then it
say,
goes back to the
because we're doing it once, the top 3 for a 4-year term and then 2, and then we just go back
Bounce
and
from
forth
there.
that way.
makes sense.
That's how it would be. You mentioned a 3-year term, but it would be 4 and 2,
He
right?
meant
For
because it's 5 people. So
Sorry, yes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 3
3 people get 4 years,
And then
those
2
last 2 get 2 years.
will be
and
on
then-
2 years, but just that once.
Yeah, then
And
it
then
starts the rotation.
Yeah, I like it.
Okay. Just wanted to talk that through here instead of having to call each one of you individually when that came up. But yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and there is one caveat prescribed by the code. It's no more than 50% of the members will be elected for terms of 3 years. So you can't have, does that make sense?
So it'd be 2 at 4 years and 3 at 2.
Yes.
Okay.
But then the next time those three are elected for a 4-year term? Does that create a problem?
See what you're saying. Yeah, it's
We'll look
tricky.
into that, yeah.
Yes,
That's why I suggest contacting the election office.
yes.
Lisa Lofgreen and her crew do a great job down there. They're very up to speed on how all this, and I'm sure they'll help, to be more than willing to help us on this. They're aware that we're trying to do this.
Great.
I think it would make for more consistent government moving forward.
Other
So-
people do this, so we've got to be able to copy
It,
and paste.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Any other legal updates?
That's all I have.
Outstanding. All right. For continual council conversations, we talked a lot about doing a employee evaluation. I took a stab at this and sent it to everybody. Department heads, I sent it to you guys as well. Before I clean it up and make it pretty, I want to get everybody's input. What do you like? What don't you like? So that we can clean it up and then just create a document that's easy for all of us to manage. Tried to make it simple, but if we need to cut anything or do anything, just take a look at that and we can talk about it at the next council meeting. I think it just sets the groundwork for us to be able to have continued conversations about performance. We've got a great team here, so I don't think anybody here is worried about it being a punitive action, but I think the good part is it provides framework for continued growth and talks about goals and what kind of things we can continue to do to, build a career. So take a look at that. I appreciate it. Anybody else got anything for continued council conversations? All right, we'll move on to department reports. Jim?
First of all, thank you for that evaluation. We were looking forward to that, so.
Oh, we'll
appreciate
give you an
working on it.
evaluation.
What's that?
He said he's excited to give you an
There
evaluation.
you go. Well, bring it on.
No more dogs in the.
Yeah, no more dogs. I will say,
Showed up.
talk to Harold Gibson. Kid City is the daycare that's moving in out there behind the wellness center.
Kids.
They're at 8 locations. They have them in Plainfield, Fishers, Brady Point, Greenwood, South Point, Fordsville, Beech Grove, and Franklin Township. And now they're looking to establish business here in New Palestine, so.
Is that locked and loaded? Like, are they?
Yeah.
Do they have a contract and
Kid
breaking
City- yeah,
ground?
Yep, they've got a letter of intent, and they're working on the site plan as we speak. So,
Wow.
well, so, that's, I don't know the capacity of that, but, it's just glad to see something moving back there.
Yeah.
And, I do know that, Muhammad did hire, Hanson, or Kimley and Horn, and, I should have a site plan by next week to at least bring in here and just start looking at it, so,
Woo!
yeah.
I'm excited about that.
So this is, just to clarify, this is all under the hospital's UDP.
Yes, everything.
So,
Yep, yep.
Okay.
They've, it took a little bit, they were working out the Kroger's, they purchased some property off Muhammad and had to shift some stuff around, but, I just, texted him as we came in here, and he texted me back and said he would meet with me tomorrow, but he did sign up with Kimley and Horn, and they're working on a site, so,
good deal.
Awesome.
good. I give him my pin.
Do we have any updates with Kroger at all? Just
No.
continuing the process?
Just continue the process, yep.
All right. Thank you. Steve?
So we've got community crossings, and you were given the draft, you were sent the draft copy?
I made a
Contract.
copy of the draft copy and sent it to you,
Yes.
and I don't know what else to do, but I followed your instructions.
Well, I sent you kind of like, it's like a
Yeah.
20-page PowerPoint. I just sent you the 4 pages to explain like
mattered,
the
yeah.
nuts and the bolts. of
Don't
the
sign it, because
process.
I almost signed it, and then I was like, hold on. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure you sent me.
just go through that, and it's
Okay.
pretty easy. They send a draft copy of the contract that, if, pass it out among councils, like a 8-9 page contract, I run it by, Ted Nolting before, he said, yeah, it looks fine, and, we're not gonna change a word of it anyway, it's in Dot's contract, so, and they're trying to give us money. So, yeah, whenever we get that signed, because the NDOT's kind of wanting us to get this thing going this year pretty quick, so, while the funding's still there, February 4th, next council meeting is gonna be the bid opening, and I have to have, the contract awarded and a contract signed and end up by March 1st. So things are going to happen pretty quick.
Can you remind us what this round is covering?
As far as
The work.
specific roads, a lot of crack seal. Probably should have brought that information in front of me. It's been so long since I did the actual application. Artesians getting the mill and pave. East Walnut is getting a mill and pave, and then all those little side roads, Gray, East Elm, Sugar Creek Drive, north and south are getting a mill and pave, and then we're doing a lot of crack sealing as well in town.
Good.
Let's see what else I got here. Shout out to it's been kind of a weird winter. I guess I don't have to tell everybody that. 61 day, 10 the next. We haven't had a lot of big snow events. We have had a lot of small salting events. So between us and what we give the school, we were really getting down there, like to our last 25, 30 tons. So I put a call into the county. Gary's always been a good neighbor and partnering with the towns and cities in the county, and he was kind enough to bring us over a load of salt to hopefully get us through the winter. But stay tuned. Something's coming this weekend, I've heard, in the range of 2 to 10 inches. They'll know Saturday morning, I think,
Probably.
what it's actually going to be. But just careful out on the road this weekend, and we'll have a full call out on our crew and everything to keep the roads the best we
Good.
can.
Appreciate that.
Where are we on the installation of the slow sign?
The light. But,
Sure, that
last,
too.
Last week it was spoke about the sign. That's going to be portable, and Steve and I, we've been looking into small trailers as well. We think that the post might be a little hard, and I've looked in McCordsville, up around Geist, and I've seen little small trailers. I think they're about $300 or $400. We thought we'd get the wheel lock that we could put on, so it's quick. We can move it around. Putting
Right.
the post in might be a little tough, but that's one thing. But the lights.
Should go back to, do we have a goal of like a timeline for that trailer, and however we're going to install the sign, do we have a timeline that we're looking at?
I've got
We
it.
can find, once we get the trailer, we can find a location to put it at. Yeah, nobody's called in unless Bob lets us know if anybody's complaining about speed. But we're more than welcome to move it anywhere.
Yeah, we'd like to have it more mobile.
agree.
Just because I might get a call from the subdivision one day saying people are flying through my subdivision, and I could put it in a subdivision, or I could put it down on Jim Road. We can move it over to 450 and just and they do work. I've got one in my neighborhood, and it kind of gives me that finger wag when I'm doing 23 instead of 20. So.
I just want to know if we're looking at, next month or 2 months or 3 months down the road.
I'd say within the next 30 days.
Good.
Yep,
Okay.
have the trailer in that moment. Are you rounding housing to the app? Is that what you're?
No, I just want to see it working. Like I would love to.
I hope so.
It is more concerning for me that it's
Yeah.
working, and then I'll figure out the app part.
Yes.
But I want the sign in place.
Fair.
Yeah, I think the first spot we could put it is Copperstone Drive.
Yeah, that's right.
2209 if we need.
Yeah.
Because that's where somebody basically called out that we've got something. I think that'd be a great spot to aim for, and that kind of gives us a goal to march to. I like the trailer idea. I'm sure we'll have Kyle, do some ingenuity to make it stable in that and move forward with there. But yeah.
But as the light at 52
Yeah.
and Depot, that should be installed within 4 weeks.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah.
The other question I have, and forgive me if it's been taken care of in the last 48 hours, do we still have a Christmas tree up?
Still do.
Is that planning on coming down at some point?
I got to make a phone call to the county. I know a guy.
Yeah, let's get a hold of that guy and see if the 12 days of Christmas, that's long over. Let's move forward. And get
I hear
down.
he's going to be back to work on Monday, so
Well, he's
Around
taking
11
he's
o'clock.
taking enough time off.
Yes.
Glad you got a guy. All right. Chief? Been pretty quiet.
Actually, nothing
do to share with you that, but I am gonna come to the council tonight and ask for the authority to move forward with hiring the, position that we had talked about last year in the budget for the new hire. It's no longer a one necessity at this point. We're seeing our numbers go up, we're seeing arrests go up. And after this last weekend, it's the solo patrol needs to stop. We need partners. And this community deserves, having 24-hour round-the-clock coverage, so if somebody's off, we need another officer there to be able to take that call and not rely on our partner agencies to try to take calls for us. We owe it to our community to take care of that, and an officer safety thing as well. These guys are right now, from midnight to 6 a.m., most officers are working by themselves. That needs to stop. And we did budget it, and I know we had the excess levy come in. Yeah, we got a little bit cut, and I know budgets are gonna be tight, but, some things in our budgets are more wants than they are necessities. This is a necessity. So I'm asking the council permission. We've already started the process, for lateral transfers. We have 3 gentlemen that are still in the process, and they're kind of hanging on, waiting to know where we were gonna go with this, so we put it on hold, because we didn't know where the budget was at. At this point, I'd like to move forward and continue that, and then hopefully have somebody maybe on board by maybe mid-February, end of February. That's kind of our goal. I'm not sure what the council thinks about that.
Lateral transfer,
So
we
this
don't,
is somebody coming in,
yeah, we don't have to pay to send them to,
no, they're coming in trained.
Okay.
So we have 3 guys that are very interested in the town of Palestine. They've seen what the Palestine has to offer. I think 2 of the, actually, I think 3 of them actually live in very close to the area or something right in town. So they're very familiar with the area. They have kids that attend our schools. So they're invested as well. So,
Is this one of those situations where we would have to reimburse another department?
no, they're on long enough that, that's way. So,
Because that would be an additional expense that,
right, so if we were to hire somebody that was brand new out of the academy and we stole them right away, then you'd be paying back the cost of these officers, all of them have enough time on them, we would not be paying anybody back.
that's good.
yeah, and we budgeted for this already, correct? Yep.
A vehicle as well?
Vehicle, we've got pool, so we,
We do have money budgeted for a new vehicle, and it may come to, we're making a decision instead of buying a vehicle outright, is we do a lease purchase, so we can get 2 vehicles, and pay them longer, but, yeah, we started talking about that as well. Our vehicles are getting worn out, we take a lot of calls, and this time, so from January 1st, 2025, present day of last year, we had 546 calls year to date, 8 case reports, 6 arrests. Starting 2026 from January 1 to present day, we have 811 calls, 19 case reports, and 13 arrests year to date. So we almost doubled everything. So the community's growing, and that's great. We love to see it. I love seeing Envoy and guys come in and have ideas for us, but we need to put our on it as well.
We approved that budget, we approved that expense, so I'm in favor of moving forward and hiring another officer so that we can get, 24-hour coverage with partners. My curiosity is, as you project out, because I think since we've been on council, so for 2 years, I mean, we're close to averaging an officer a year that we're adding to you.
Yeah, we've been behind the 8 ball for so long.
So when we project 5 years out, we feel like we're going to be in a good place for the next 3 years?
I would love to tell you yes, but I think in 5 years, if I see this community growing the way I see it getting ready to happen, we're still gonna be playing catch up. I don't think I can say we're there. We're a necessity that nobody wants to pay for, but we're the necessity you have to have. And this community is getting ready, I feel like it's getting ready to explode. So we will try our best to keep you informed of what we need, but right now, this is definitely what we need. 5 years from now, it could be 5, 6, 7, 8 more officers. I don't know.
Well, and the balance of that is, and I'm obviously big fan of you guys. You guys do great. But the other part of it is the money we pay for you guys from the town limits is much smaller than what we cover, right? And I mean the town limits versus what we cover in terms of calls and runs. Well, the town limits of New Pal.
Right,
I mean, we cover beyond that, right?
we help.
Yeah.
with certain things, yes.
So I think what would be helpful to me is if you look at the town projecting, like, what is your vision? What is your goal for number of officers based on the needs? Is there a way for you to say, hey, here's like a 5-year plan that I'd love to see us, whether that's adding 5 officers in 5 years or that's 2 officers in 5
Yeah,
years?
and a lot of that's going to depend on you as the council as to what you allow to come into this community. I mean, if you put the gates up right now, one more officer is going to hold us for a while. If you continue the growth, continue the expansion, the residences, the businesses, it's kind of a work together thing, because I really don't know what you guys have planned or what's coming in. I can only tell you what I can see now. So,
And I 100% agree it's a work together thing. I'm just wanting that side
Yeah,
of
I would
understanding
say
as
that
if we have some of that information from your opinion, right? It's nothing I'm going to hold you to. I'm just curious
I would
about
tell you
what your
this,
vision is.
Probably in 5 years, you're probably going to have another 5 to 7 officers, probably going to be needed. If I see what I see happening, I can see that happening. Very quick.
But you won't be able to afford it.
And you have that.
And especially with Senate Bill 1 gonna be hitting.
Right, and that's where the county commissioners are gonna come into play to help the town out. I mean, I think that's where you as the council will probably have to have those talks with our county commissioners to try to help them, have them set our rate. Because, eventually that LOIC's gonna go away, and then our general fund's gonna have to absorb that money. So, that's gonna be where county commissioners is gonna set our rate, because of our census, we didn't hit a high enough number back in, 2020.
Right, 2020.
So when we get reassessed, we may make that mark where we're over the number for us to set our own rates. But until then, we're gonna have to rely on county commissioners to set our rate.
Right.
The way the rules are right now.
Yeah.
AIM is working hard to change that and allow us to let us set our own rates for the town. But, legislature has to make those changes.
I guess what I'm looking for, Chief, is your assessment. And that would help me, maybe all of us, have a better understanding of as we consider development, as we look at what's ahead, having your perspective and your voice in the midst of that. And I don't know if there's an assessment report or something that you can, if you have, once you hire this new person and you have, 15 extra minutes, but if you could give us something just from your perspective, an assessment on the next 5 years, I'd be interested in that type of report from you.
And the guys and I will sit down, we'll kind of look at the possible projected growth, kind of see what we think is gonna happen, what you guys think is gonna happen. If we can be kept in the loop of things you hear coming in, that also helps. Because like some things happen that we don't know about, like daycare. It'd be nice to know that is coming in, so we can plan appropriately as well. So yeah, absolutely, we can sit down as the guys next door, crunch the numbers, and try to bring something back. Next time we hit budgets, maybe have that ready to go.
I think that'd be good.
And Yvonne, could you speak to that as far as the budget goes?
The budget was based on us getting the full amount we asked for excess levy appeal. Obviously, we're getting a good chunk for 2026. Not for 2027, 2028, and, years beyond that. There's a significant drop. I think that we can afford one more officer. But by next year, there may be other things that you will have to not spend on. You may be limited in what you can give away and, in other areas, and what we may or may not be able to replace in here or donate to, community efforts, or, there's other places where we're gonna probably need to, be careful. The next couple of years are going to be really tough financially. Is there enough for this year? For certain. And, I think we can make it work. I think we probably should make it work. Obviously, what happened is here, and, with an incident in town this past weekend, that it's very clear that at night you need to have 2 officers, just like you do during the day, if at all possible.
Random question. TIFT money can go to support things like this if it was equipment, correct?
I think.
I think my
To a
point,
point.
RDC
we don't have to
funds?
debate that. What I'm saying is, we're gonna, to your point, we're gonna have to get creative with budgets. And
We're
what
gonna
we-
have to
what
be
we're gonna
careful
need
in
to
our budgets.
To ask, you know, hey, can
Yep.
the RDC help cover this? Can they do that? We
And
need
the
to,
RDC currently doesn't get
don't
large
right
amounts
now.
of money in, so.
2 years from now, hopefully they, right.
Yes, so there's gonna be a bridge, you know, we've gotta cross for the next couple of years. Basically 27, 28, 29 may be really tough. But after that, we should be, you know, have some more flexibility again. And like I said, AIM, our, you know, Accelerated Indiana Municipalities Organization is really trying hard to get the legislator to make some changes in this, you know, SB1 bill that's, you know, really hopefully given us a little bit more flexibility because the legislature made it really, really tough on municipalities for years to come.
I would also caution using RDC funds or funds like that. I understand, you know, getting creative with it and stuff, but RDC funds are, a lot of that's put in there by TIF proceeds, which TIF proceeds aren't sustainable, I would say, you know, because TIF has a life. So you know, compensating for a couple years or a few years with that is probably okay, but
We can't pay for officers with
I
RDC.
agree.
No,
That's
no,
all I'm
no.
saying. I'm saying
No, I'm
if
just
you need an
saying.
influx of equipment, things
Right.
of that nature, a one-time expense to get you to this
Right.
point where we get a census and then we can actually have control over that.
Yeah, that's what I mean though. Being creative with it for a couple years here and there, I think is acceptable, but don't ever count on those TIF funds being sustainable long term. So, just a word of caution. But I think since this is in the budget, this is a no-brainer to me. You guys do great work. You've shown that. You're a team. You support this community. Keep this community safe. This is a no-brainer for me moving forward.
Any other discussion?
Bob, you need a
I
motion.
don't think so.
I would just
Yep.
like the motion
Yeah.
to announce to approve the going forward and getting in position.
I make a motion for us to go forward and make it, so he can have another officer.
I'll second that motion.
Motion made by Terry, seconded by Bill. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? And that passes. Get us a good one.
Thank you.
I will.
Anything else, chief?
No, the case from the weekend, it's still an ongoing investigation, even though we do have suspects in custody. It's going to be an ongoing, put a lot more work on the back end, just to make sure we have a rock solid case. I appreciate all the phone calls, all the reach out from people in the community. We had a lot of support on this. It was nice. Good help.
Good to hear. Yvonne?
Can you circle back to me real quick? Yeah.
I
I
guess so.
apologize. I talked to Terry about it today and I it skipped right over it, but I think a couple of you met with Representative Shreves. They came here, I think it was John Holtcamp. He's actually left that office and there's a new gal, Beth Boyce. So they're still interested in a project here. So Thomas would like to set up a meeting. He'd like the council president and another council member to.
He sent an email on that, didn't he?
Well,
He did send an email.
he sent one to me, yeah, but it wasn't copied with the council.
Yeah, I think we were on it, but yeah, okay.
So we'll get something set up, we'll get it sent to you, and then whoever wants to.
Yeah.
join in, that's fine.
For sure.
Thank you.
Are you done now? Are you gonna
I'm done.
steal Yvonne's
Sorry.
thunder again?
You're stealing
Sorry.
my thunder.
All right, Yvonne, I won't let him cut in this time.
Well, he made a good point. I think with Shreve looking to hand out some money, we need to try to come up with some project that we can describe that fits their, you know, their idea to give us some grant money, because that's what we're talking about, is grant money. Piggybacking on that, we got the $1,000 from the hospital for grant money for AEDs. Then we also learned, and Bri would speak on this because she did the legwork, but she's out sick. We also got the Gary Sinise Foundation to give us $9,500 in a donation towards AEDs. Unfortunately, we had already purchased the 3 to replace the ones that we desperately needed. So they cannot pay us for expenses already incurred, but they did tell us that we can spend $9,500 for the police department on whatever they might need. So that's a awesome grant that we just received, and we're very thankful for. And Brian, 2 of the officers are working together to come up with a plan how to best use this money. So, you know, we need to try to continue to go after as many grants as we can. They're hard to get. They're a lot of work. If we have any volunteers in the audience here or residents who like grant writing or have experience with that, we could definitely use some help with that. So, but yeah, that's all I've got for you.
I mean, that's awesome news. I mean, really, you're talking $10,000 that she's gotten us in those two.
Exactly.
I'm gonna piggyback on the back of this.
Oh, as long as you don't cut in front of her.
I won't cut in front. We also, the police department, have filed for a body armor grant that we applied for, so if it does go through, we'll be replacing 5 to 6 body armors. If we get it, they pay 50% of the cost. So, cross your fingers.
Great.
I like that.
You may need to include one for the president of the council.
Yeah.
Never know.
I'll use the old one. When you're retired.
The expired one.
And if anyone would like to donate, dude, just write a check and come to 42 East Main. Bring it here. Okay. All right. Thanks. Is that it, Yvonne?
That's it for me. Thank you.
All right. Now we are going to open to public comments. 5 minutes on any topic. If you have anything to say, please come to the podium. Tell us your name and address, and we'd love to hear what you have to say. All right. Then we'll move on to council comments and start with the self-appointed sewer queen. Oh, I'm sorry, Terry Reed.
It's a beautiful
Right?
site. It's a beautiful structure.
Bill was so
though.
excited to tell me that you self-appointed yourself the sewer queen. Like he couldn't even sit down without telling me.
I apologize.
Sorry.
I knew that came from you.
Not my fault.
Not going to spend the morning with you anymore. Well, along those cleanup lines, spring is around the corner, and so you know me, I like to tidy up our town. So within the next month, I will put together, I'll get my binder out for our dumpster day. And don't know when that'll be, but like I said, I'll work the next month doing that. And I want to thanks to the police department for keeping us safe. And Smoke and Barrel, my husband does smoking meats. You don't have any competition.
He is a very good cook.
Yeah, but yours is great.
There goes Dave.
Hey, there's a new revenue stream apparently if you want to teach people.
There you go.
Apparently,
There you
Terry is going to sign David up for your class.
Okay. That's all I have.
All right, Ryan.
I want to congratulate Indian Hoosiers on their national championship. That was such a fun game to watch. Just if you ever watch college football, that was a remarkable feat. They beat Alabama, which that's the only thing I'm a little salty about. But I also want to say great job to the New Pal Police Department. You guys consistently do a great job of keeping this town safe. And I just can't say enough about how professional you guys are and what a great job you guys do. Thank you for from everybody from the team and the town that reached out to me when I got my new knee here a couple weeks ago. I appreciate everybody reaching out. Means a lot. Also, as we talk about the town center moving forward, having a ratio here, talking about what they're doing. Thank you to Envoy for the help for that. But, this is a coordinated effort to drive economic development, provide some tax diversity and new amenities for the town. This is going to give a lot of opportunity to everybody in the town to watch the town thrive and enjoy the new things that come to town. And this is one of those boxes that we're going to check off that's going to help us do that. I'm really looking forward to this project and watching it grow and the ideas that we'll get from the community members on things we can provide to them, things they're looking for in this development. So I think that's it.
Awesome. Thank you. Ethan?
Lots of echoing of the things that have been said. And in terms of this past weekend, Chief, my appreciation and top of all of that is the communication that you've had with the council as well as the community. It's good to know that we can put information out there, and you all do a good job doing that. So thank you. Also want to just publicly thank, we got word yesterday that Katie Eastis, who had been along, she's served the community through the schools for 26 years. She was hired as Batesville superintendent. And so we want to celebrate that transition. She's going to be a loss for our community, but certainly want to thank her for the work that she's done for our community and wish her luck in her new position in Batesville. The only other thing I have is I'll be doing another council chat. That'll be February 6th. And since Tia's is open, we might as well do it at Tia's. Would anybody like to join me? The 6th at 8 a.m.
I will.
Terry, thank you.
Yeah, I'm gonna know.
That's it.
All right. I just want to echo, of course, everybody and not make everybody sit through me regurgitating that. But the one point that I wanted to make is it's exciting to see the problem solving that the employees of the town are doing to try to help solve some of the issues that we're expecting with the finances in the next year. There's a lot of grant writing that didn't happen the first 2 years I was here, and trying to find creative ways to get these things that we know are a necessity. Excited and hopeful that we are here to help solve some of those problems if they have, but it's awesome to see them see a problem and just go after it. So I'm just really excited and thankful for all the people that work for the town. That's all I've got. Bill?
Certainly want to say the same thing, and Bob, congratulations and thanks for everything that you and your department do. The only other thing I want to mention is that House Bill 1001 recently passed out of committee, and it was an absolute surprise to me when somebody asked me if I knew what House Bill 1001 was. I said, no, I hadn't heard of it. This is a bill, again, it's passed out of committee, so now it's going to go in front of the Indiana House of Representatives. This is a bill that is sponsored or created by, generated from a housing developer in Elkhart, Indiana. The goal of this statute is to eliminate all local municipal zoning and architectural design requirements. So what that means is any community such as ours who has standards for housing that we expect a certain quality, if this bill becomes law, those local requirements are immediately eliminated. And what that means is your vinyl villages, pole barns, whatever worst case scenario that you can think of for housing development will be allowed in Indiana. So I encourage everybody to reach out to their representatives and request that they speak against House Bill 1001, because the essence of community is that it's the local folks who set design criteria. And what might be approved in Laguna, Indiana might be different than what is approved in Westfield or Noblesville or New Palestine or Carmel or anywhere else. So this isn't because I want to be a snob, but it is because I don't believe, under the guise of trying to provide affordable housing, and that is the buzzword behind the support of the statute, you shouldn't gut local control. So I would encourage everybody to reach out in opposition to House Bill 1001.
Bill, is there an opt-out period for that?
Absolutely not. You
That's
are
a- I-
stuck. If this bill is passed, it eliminates any architectural design criteria that we have. And we can't opt out of the state statute. It was kind of scary.
Very, very good point.
Yeah, ending on a positive note.
Yeah.
Anybody have a
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
I'll second that motion.
Ethan made the motion and Bill seconded it. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All right, thank you.